We're well known for our romantic comedies, and with very good reason. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British rom-coms. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be taking a look at Britain's best romantic comedies. To be eligible, they have to have a predominantly British cast and crew, concern British topics with a sense of humour, or be a British-funded production. Number 10, About Time. First on the list, and we're already on a film by Britain's rom-com specialist, Richard Curtis.
But there's this family secret, and the secret is that the men in the family can travel in time.
Domhnall Gleeson plays a young man who discovers he has the ability to time travel and uses it to pursue a relationship with romance film favourite Rachel McAdams.
I hope I see you again.
You will.
Okay.
The sci-fi twist gives the typical rom-com routine a little extra flavour, but also allows for some particularly emotional moments and trademark scenes from the genre-defining director.
So not such a bad day after all.
No. It's pretty good, really. Very good day, actually.
Number 9, Man Up. We've all ended up on dates gone wrong, but this one is both the best day ever and the worst.
Where are you?
Blimey, I'm not that late, am I? Sorry. Somebody threw themselves on the track again. I don't blame them. There's so many delays.
Lake Bell plays a hopeless romantic who is accidentally mistaken for a blind date by Simon Pegg. This leads to a long night of misunderstandings and beguiling across London. Bell and Pegg make for an adorably mismatched couple.
You alright?
It's a tactical view.
Along with some solid gags and supporting performances from Rory Kinnear and Ken Stott, this movie is a modern rom-com treat.
You're such a f***ing cynic.
And you're such a f***ing romantic.
Number 8, Bend It Like Beckham. Though not an out-and-out rom-com, Gurinder Chadha's breakout film about a young Sikh woman who becomes a footballer is as beloved in the UK as any of its peers.
I want her to fight. And I want her to win. Because I've seen her playing, she's brilliant.
Highlighting gender and race issues within both the sport and the country, as well as taking good advantage of the Man United player's fame at the time with a sweet cameo, Bend It Like Beckham was also a milestone film for stars Parminder Nagra and Keira Knightley, who find themselves in a love triangle with their coach, played by Jonathan Rhys-Meyers.
I'm back at Christmas. We'll tackle my mum and dad then.
Number 7, Shakespeare in Love. Yes, this film was far from historically accurate on many counts, but as a story on its own, Shakespeare in Love is a charming romance exploring the life of the bard for entertainment rather than education.
Hi.
Let me see you. Take off your hat.
Are you Master Shakespeare?
Wait there. Wait there!
The film makes clever use of Shakespearean tropes and iconography, helped by the screenplay being co-authored by Tom Stoppard, who was famed for Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, and fantastic performances from the likes of Gwyneth Paltrow and Judi Dench.
Have her then, but you're a lordly fool. She's been plucked since I saw her last, and not by you. It takes a woman to know it.
All of which helped to justify the film's controversial Best Picture Award win at the 71st Academy Awards.
Kissed by the book.
Number 6, About a Boy. Nick Hornby's books often rival Richard Curtis for perennial Brit flick favourites, and this 2002 film is yet another standout for the genre.
Well, don't you have homework to do or something?
Yeah, do you want to help me?
No, that's not what I meant. I meant, why don't you go home and do your homework?
Attending a single-parent support group without having a child in an effort to pick up women, the ever-lovable Hugh Grant ends up a precarious father figure for Marcus, the breakout performance of a young Nicholas Hoult.
You can't help me. How could you? You're just a stupid person who hangs around watching TV all day and buys things. You don't give a shit about anybody and nobody gives a shit about you!
Supported by strong turns from Toni Collette and Rachel Weisz, About a Boy is a charming tale about extended families and arrested development sure to delight audiences for years to come.
Oh, well, you're not useless. You're here. And that matters.
Number 5, Mamma Mia. What could make a rom-com even better? ABBA. Based on the hit jukebox musical, Mamma Mia has a star-studded cast that gets everyone from Meryl Streep to Pierce Brosnan crooning a tune, and whether they can or not is another question.
Whatever happened to our love? I wish I understood. It used to be so nice, it used to be so good.
Regardless of your taste for ABBA songs, the film's tremendous box office success proves its extreme popularity, and a sequel planned for 2018 may only extend its influence on modern pop culture. Number 4, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. The film that crowned both Hugh Grant and writer Richard Curtis as icons of the genre, 4 Weddings and a Funeral practically wrote the book on the modern British romantic comedy.
And with all my worldly goods I thee endow.
Telling the complicated love story between Grant and Andie MacDowell over the course of its titular grand occasions, this 1994 smash hit broke all critical and box office expectations, going on to receive Oscar nominations for Best Original Screenplay and Best Picture.
In short, to recap in a slightly clearer version, in the words of David Cassidy, in fact, while he was still with the Partridge Family, I think I love you.
Not bad for a dinky British film. Number 3, Notting Hill. With 4 Weddings already under their belt, Grant and Curtis reunited for this '99 comedy with the help of America's sweetheart Julia Roberts.
Do you want my phone number?
Tempting, but no. Thank you.
Telling the mismatched love story between the owner of a bookstore in London and a celebrated Hollywood actress, Notting Hill drew on all of its audience's favourite rom-com tropes with recognisable characters and loved-up climactic scenes.
It's a dream, in fact, to see you again.
What happens next in the dream?
And it's still considered a classic, especially for giving us that now legendary line.
The fame thing isn't really real, you know. And don't forget, I'm also just a girl.
Number 2, Bridget Jones's Diary. Based on the book by Helen Fielding, which itself is loosely inspired by Pride and Prejudice, Bridget Jones's Diary has become the Bible of many a hopeless romantic.
Oi! Oi! Sorry, the mic's not working.
Renee Zellweger taps into the life of a 30-something British girl who finds herself going from being perpetually single to caught in a love triangle with Hugh Grant and Colin Firth.
Thank you, Daniel. That is very good to know. But if staying here means working within 10 yards of you, frankly, I'd rather have a job wiping Saddam Hussein's arse.
It's an awkward situation, but it's not unenviable either. Spawning 2 sequels and an upcoming musical, it seems the world's love for Bridget Jones may never come to an end.
I like you. Very much.
Apart from the smoking, and the drinking, and the vulgar mother, and the verbal diarrhea.
No, I like you very much.
Number 1, Love Actually. In what is essentially the Avengers of its genre, Richard Curtis assembles a gargantuan cast of British talent to create what the promo poster itself declares as the ultimate romantic comedy.
Almost finished.
Almost finished? What else can there be? You're going to dip it in yogurt? Cover it with chocolate buttons?
Telling 10 stories of love over Christmas, Love Actually reignited the world's affection for British rom-coms, inspiring countless imitations and launching the careers of many of its then unknown cast members.
You're a bit young to be in love.
No.
The film's festive setting has made it a seasonal favourite ever since, and the 2017 Red Nose Day follow-up only proves how everlasting this movie's spirit is.
Yeah.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo UK and subscribe for more great content.